If you ever allow politics to become personal and cloud your judgment, it's never good for the people that you represent. My expectation and hope is that our leaders will work together for the betterment of Arizona, regardless of what happened in past elections.
So Sinema's at 2:15, right?
I thought it was 2:20.
They put it back a little bit. What are you doing to ensure productive negotiations are happening on this front?
Because she's not a party to it.
Can we update that Google Doc?
Yeah.
My schedule. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. Good to see you.
Too. Hey, how's it going?
What are some of your other priorities that you're working on and really hope to make movement on in a gridlocked Congress?
Well, the good news is that while gridlock has been happening in Congress for years, I've always found a way to get through it. And I have veterans at the top of my list. Another issue I'll be working on, of course, is jobs and economic growth.
So speaking of working with other people, you had a pretty tough campaign with Senator McSally last year. How are you guys doing now? How can you talk to Arizonans about how you'll work productively together?
Well, Arizonans know that as a professional, I'm willing to work with literally anyone to get things done, and always have been. Senator McSally and I have already partnered on some legislation, and I expect that we'll continue to do so in the future.
Have you guys had a meaningful conversation since the election about?
I'm sure that time will come.
Okay, so not yet.
But we are working together on a variety of legislation.
Is it staff-to-staff conversations mostly?
That's pretty much how legislation works in both the House and the Senate.
It's just good that that conversation is happening.
Great, thanks. I want to follow up with you maybe afterwards about any other specific ideas, policy-wise, related to what we're talking about. Also in Arizona, 54% of women are family caregivers right now, and we have a growing aging population in Arizona. So this is something that's very real.
So my own aunt took early retirement in order to have more time to care for my grandmother, who suffers from Alzheimer's. The stories that I hear from Norma, Larry, and indeed in my own family continue to build and show the pressure that Arizonans are facing in the sandwich generation, caring for both younger family members and older family members.
What time is it? Yeah. Hi. Have you gotten together yet with Sinema? Have you guys had like a meaningful discussion about some of these issues?
We have not had like a scheduled meeting. Our staffs are working together. We connect from time to time, kind of spontaneously, but we've not like sat down for like a long meeting together with both of us involved.
Does that concern you at all? Because she has promised that she would work with literally anyone. So I'm just wondering how this, how this relationship between the two senators.
Yeah, I mean, I just tell you my approach, which is we have a lot to work on together, and there's a lot of common ground. And to start from the things that we worked on in the House together. So we're both getting kind of set up and getting, hiring staff and getting our teams together and getting acclimated on committees, and there's a lot going on. We're a couple months behind everybody else.
Right.
So I'm not concerned at this point.
I know both of them, and I'm certainly, Sinema more so, but she's a pro. And I think there's something they mutually need and the state mutually needs. I think you'd see them get together. I really do.
So, it's just like any other job. You have to build relationships to get things done. We may not agree on every issue, and in fact, in committees, we may, be very strong on the opposite side of an issue. But when it gets down to it, if there's something we can agree to, I think it's to Arizona's benefit to work together on it.
The kids' table. They said no snacks. No snacks. None. No snacks.
We have Senator Hyde Smith, who is with us from Mississippi, and Senator McSally from Arizona. I think we always have an Arizonan on the panel. It must be a mandatory requirement or something, but we're very pleased to have you.
I see every day as a gift. So I've been given this chance to now serve our state through not a traditional route, which seems to be the story of my life. I come at it with humility and gratitude and a heart of service, just like I did in uniform. And I want to make as much a difference for the people that I represent in the next 2 years that I can.
You know, I'm on 5 committees, so we're always like, okay, I gotta go here and then there, and
You just got to prioritize, you know, and
made the case.
and finally.
We add to that list the protection of Turkey and making sure that they don't have a CENTCOM standpoint, and we do recognize.
Final question. You obviously were not in the Senate when John McCain served here. But you were in the House.
Yes.
And his presence loomed large. Does it feel as though the delegation's North Star is just gone? Is there anyone who can replace that, or
No one can
pick it
ever.
up?
No one can ever replace John McCain. No one can. And I think anyone who tried to do so would be foolish. What I hope for all of us in the delegation is to aspire to have the honor, character, and integrity that he always showed. Recognize our weaknesses, work hard to be better at our strengths, and just have character and integrity. I'm trying really hard to be a person of character and integrity, and I think he always did.